Welcome to the Credit Repair Show with your host, the Credit Doctor, Angelo McCutcheon. We're coming to you with another quick video. I always say quick, but it's not really always quick, on the credit repair process. So as you guys begin to come on into the room, we're also here on Instagram, to Facebook. Just give us a wave. Come on in the room. We got some good news. We're going to be talking about CreditKarma being sued by the government, having to pay people $3 million. We'll have to pay a total of $3 million to people that they have, kind of messed up. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about our credit repair program to help teach you how you can repair your own credit. If you want to make a comment, of course, Facebook Live, click on the link, the StreamYard link, so you can come on and make your comments in the room. Good evening. Patricia's in the house as always. We're going to get started in a minute, but tonight, our main topic is CreditKarma being sued by the government and going to have to pay out $3 million to consumers, which means not every consumer gets $3 million, but a total amount of $3 million going out to consumers whom they have defrauded. And I'm going to tell you how they did that. And this is what I've been talking about for years when I talk about CreditKarma. Thanks for sharing, Patricia. Thanks for sharing. And as you guys come on into the room, give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up, share the video, like the video, YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Like the video. You know how we do. Okay, so let's get into it because we're not going to be here long, but we're going to try to give you some good information tonight. All right, so make sure you stay with us, or even if you're watching this as a replay, there's going to be some good information for you tonight. Now, when we talk about credit, right, and we talk about the credit bureaus, and we talk about monitoring systems, right? Most people have a monitoring system that they sign up for, right? Whether it be ScoreSense, whether it be CreditKarma, whether it be Identity IQ, whether it be myfico.com. A lot of these monitoring systems, some free, most of them you have to pay for, but you get, your credit reports, you get your credit scores, and you can monitor your system. For years, CreditKarma has been the leading monitoring system when it comes to allowing people to sign up for free. But in exchange for the freedom, they only give you your TransUnion and your Equifax credit report. Now they're changing a little bit because Equifax is starting to come off the platform, but right now they're still giving you credit. They're still giving you TransUnion and Equifax credit report. And so a lot of people, signed up. And listen, I have a CreditKarma account. I've had one for years, because it's free and it gives me an opportunity to monitor my credit report. And it's good for that. If you're going to monitor your credit report. Not so great in terms of really going by the score. We did a whole video on your credit score, the CreditKarma score, which is known as the Vantage score. People say, well, that's not your real score. So it is your real score. And I don't want to get too much into this. It is your real score if any one of the creditors are going to look at your CreditKarma, or I like to say CreditKarma, your Vantage score, what your Vantage score is. Because remember, there's the Vantage score, and then there's the FICO score. Most people are familiar with the FICO score, which has been around for years and years. So CreditKarma offers you your Vantage score, right? And which could be different. Most of the time, it is different from your FICO score, right? But again, watch my video on that. You can go into the archive, my Facebook, or if you follow me on any other of my platforms, you can see that I've talked about a lot of these issues before when it comes to CreditKarma, when it comes to monitoring system. My podcast, follow me on my podcast, which is the Credit Repair Show with your host, Angelo McCutcheon. right? And we talked about a lot of these things, right? But today, what I've been saying for years about Credit Karma, because people say, how can they offer um, their services for free, right? How could they offer millions of consumers a free monitoring system? How do they make money? How do they literally make money when it comes to that? Well, I'm going to tell you how they make money. And I've been saying this for years. Credit Karma makes money when you click on any one of their links that they advertise to you. So they might say, as you're looking at your credit score on the side, they'll be like, hey, you have an 80% chance of approval of receiving this credit card, whether it be Capital One, First Premier, Discover, whatever it may be. They say, yeah, you have great odds, or they may say you're pre-approved, or they may say you have a great chance, a 90% chance of getting, and the minute you click on that link, that's how they get paid. And so if you notice, they're constantly, every time you go on there, they're constantly pushing something to you. Click on this link, you have a good chance to get a pre-approved for a home, pre-approved for a car, pre-approved for a credit card. But what they're really doing is say, hey, we need to get paid and we need you guys to click on this link. Now, whether you get it or not, hey, that's not up to us. But we think you have a 90% chance. And they say that not knowing if you really got a good chance of, because there's no guarantee if you click on a link, you're going to get it. But the way that they phrase it, most people think that, hey, it says I have a 90% chance of getting this credit card. Even though they know that their credit may not be that good, they'll click on the link. And when they click on the link, Credit Karma gets paid. You go through the process, and then you may end up getting denied credit. You'd be like, well, he said I had a good chance. They said I was pre-approved. Well, tonight we're talking about Credit Karma was sued by the government. Back on, I believe it was the first week in September. We'll get the date when we read the article. But they were sued. And Credit Karma have to pay out $3 million. And we'll get into that. But I said for years, even before then, I said, hey, and I always tell my clients, don't be so fast to click on those links because that's just how Credit Karma gets paid. It's no guarantee that you're going to get that credit card or you're going to get that car loan. It's no guarantee, even though they say you have, a 90% chance of getting it. You may get it, you may not get it. You may say you have a 100% chance of getting it. You're pre-approved for getting it. They say languages like that, and most people literally will say, hey, I got to, even though they know their credit may be shaky, but it says, hey, I got a good chance, and in desperate times, people do desperate things. But hey, this is a chance. I need to get another credit card. I need to get a car loan. Hey, they say I can be approved for this. And then sometimes people are, most of the times people are not. But they have been persuaded because of Credit Karma saying that, hey, you have a 90% chance or you are pre-approved to get that. And that's not always true. And we're going to read an article in a minute about that. But before we get back into that, again, let me shout out and say to all you guys again, if any one of you guys are interested to know more about my credit repair coaching program. I have a credit repair coaching program now. And what that program is, for those of you who come on, yes, my goals, not your goals, Jess. It is messed up. That is messed up, right? But I have a credit repair coaching program in which now I will teach you, instead of you hiring my company or hiring another credit repair company to fix your credit, I have a program where I will literally teach you everything you need to know about fixing your own credit. That means I will give you one-on-one coaching, not group coaching, one-on-one coaching, where I will walk you through, guide you through how to fix your own credit. We will learn about the credit bureaus. We will learn about how to deal with debt collectors. We will learn how to deal with the original creditor. I'm going to give you a lot of my most effective dispute letters. You're going to get dispute letters I use to help my clients. I'm going to put those dispute letters in your hands. So, and the reason for teaching you how you can repair your own credit is so that you now have the knowledge. So even if you mess it up down the road, you'll still have the knowledge to repair your own credit. That's the goal. Because many times when you guys, and I know this because it happens a lot in my company, where I have helped people clean up their credit, educated them about, how to keep their scores up. But then 2-3 years down the road, I get some of these clients coming back to me and say, hey, I messed up. I need you to fix it. I need your services again. And my point is, if I can teach you, educate you, make sure, train you, or give you all the knowledge you need to repair your own credit, even if you fix it, even if it gets messed up again, because sometimes life happens, right? You can fix your credit up, but then you may lose your job. Someone may get sick and you have to now do different things, and you have to kind of let some things go, and some things will fall behind. It's called life. It happens. Right? It happens. So you may have a score up in the 700s, everything, but then life may happen, cause your score to drop back down to the 5s or the low 6. But if you are knowledgeable about how to repair and fix your credit, thanks for sharing the video about fixing your credit, guess what? If it falls in the tank again, because you have the knowledge to fix it, you can just do what it needs to take now to get you back up there. So you don't have to keep running to credit repair companies. Say, hey, fix my credit again. Hey, and now you're spending another $1,500. You're spending another $2,000 or whatever they charge out there for your credit to be fixed all over again. So our system, teaches you actually. My program, I should say, coaching program, will actually put all the knowledge in your hands. So by the time we are finished working with you for about 6 months, working with you, you'll have everything you need. And here's even something better. When the time comes, I'm going to put you in touch with some of the consumer attorneys that I know, so that you can work directly with them, or they work directly with you on helping you fix your credit. Because they can file the lawsuits. They can file the lawsuits if there's any violations on your credit report, or if you have any dispute letters, excuse me, they can file the lawsuit. And guess what? They won't charge you a dime. None of the consumer attorneys that I work with have never, ever charged any of my clients a dime to do the work, because they get paid by whoever they sue will have to pay their bills. So we'll put you in touch with that. And that right there is worth the whole price of our service, of our coaching program. Now, you can go to my website and it's in the description. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, you can go to getfreshstart.net. Getfreshstart.net. All right. Or just go into the description of any one of my Facebook videos or go into this video, or you can email me at CreditRepair64 for more information. All right. So we can make that actually happen for you guys. Now, with that in the way, let's go back and talk about what we want to talk about tonight. CreditKarma sued by the government. And we're going to read this article to show you something that I've been saying for years for you guys to stay away with. And many people have still been doing that. Right? CreditKarma says, hey, you have a great check. Your score is like 570. And CreditKarma say, hey, you've been pre-approved for this credit card. And you click on it. They get paid. When you click on it, you go fill out the application, you get denied. And now your credit has been shot. So CreditKarma and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that oversees the whole credit industry said, hey, you guys can't be doing that. That's a violation. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. I know if you're on Instagram, you can't see it, but you can read and listen, or you can listen as I read it, what we're talking about. So let me just pull up on this screen here. CreditKarma. Okay, so let's pull this up. Okay, so here it is right here. And it says CreditKarma. This is the article. This was dated September 6, 2022, September 6, 2022. It says Credit Karma will pay $3 million to users targeted with false pre-approved offers. That's the heading. And then it goes on to say the Federal Trade Commission is ordering Credit Karma to pay its users $3 million after pushing false pre-approved credit cards on consumers and harming their credit scores. That's what they was doing. Nearly 1/3 of users who applied for credit cards labeled as pre-approved by Credit Karma, a credit monitoring company, was subsequently denied following a credit check. According to a complaint filed by the Federal Trade Commission, the marketing efforts wasted consumers' time and had a negative impact on their scores. So you see, a lot was going on there. Continue to read. It says marketing campaigns designed to trick people into taking specific actions, like applying for a credit card an individual is allegedly pre-approved for, are known as dark patterns. According to a release, the Federal Trade Commission is cracking down on predatory practices that harm consumers and pollute online commerce. Okay, so let's stop sharing for a minute. Let's talk about that. So the Federal Trade Commission, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau said, hey, Credit Karma, you have been deceiving people to thinking that they could apply for certain credit cards knowing that their credit wasn't good. And you put in these words called pre-approved, because when people say, hey, I'm pre-approved, most people think that means that they approve, that they can get it. That goes to their mind. And Credit Karma, by using that term, that people would think that the majority, I should say, not all, but the majority of consumers would think that literally they are approved. And what happens is the minute that they do a credit check, they get denied. Now their score drops a little bit and they have an inquiry on their credit report. And so the government's saying, hey, that's a bad tactic. It's called dark patterns, right? I don't know if you guys ever heard of that word, dark patterns, but it's a term in which advertisers use to determine how someone would typically buy something. For instance, let's just say, and I'm sure everybody who's been on Facebook or Instagram or websites may have had this happen to them. Have you ever, let's say you scroll, let's just use Facebook as an example. This could be a website or whatever. Have you ever seen something you were scrolling and then you say, oh, this is a nice, outfit, and you click on it to see how much it costs, right? And this and that, you click on it, it's an advertisement. You click on it, right? And let's just say the name of that company is footwear, right? Footwear. And you see a nice, outfit, right? And you click on it, boom, I'm not going to buy that. You click out of it. And then the next thing you know, as you continue to scroll, that advertisement pops up again. And then you go to Instagram, and as you scroll, that advertisement pops up again. You go to a website on that same computer, you go to Amazon, and on the side, that advertisement picks up again. Or you on YouTube, and you'll see that. You'll be like, hey, is this thing following me? Is this thing following me? No. Yeah, well, yes, it is following you. It's called dark patterns. And what they do, advertisers look at how many times we can show you something before you will purchase it. Or how many times the average consumer has to see something before they purchase it. And so they put cookies in these things. They put what is known as cookies, not literally cookies, but it's just called cookies, and they are tracking devices. So wherever you go, after you click on that advertisement, wherever you go, and you see that advertisement again on another website, another YouTube, it'd be like, wow, wait a minute, on Amazon, you'd be like, that. Yeah, it is weird. It is weird, but that's what they call dark patterns. That's specifically advertisement, them trying to advertise you, and they know because these advertisers do the numbers. And they know that if we can show somebody something, after they see something or click on something, we can show them 5, 10 times, we know that if we show them something 5 or 10 times, most likely they're going to actually purchase that item, right? Yeah, it is crazy, but that's advertising, right? And so that's basically what Credit Karma was doing with the word pre-approval. How many times they could use the word pre-approval before the person said, you know what, I think I can. They say I'm pre-approved for this, and I can do this. I'm gonna apply for this, even though they know their credit is not that good. And so they get turned down. And that's what the Federal Trade Commission, I'm just going to say the government was saying when they say, hey, Credit Karma, you specifically deceive these people, and now you're going to have to pay for that. All right, so let's go back to sharing this screen so I can finish reading the rest of this article real quick. Let's pull this back up. Okay, so okay, here we go. It says the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, complaint alleges that at least between February of 2018 and April of 2021, so that's February 2018 to April 2021, Credit Karma violated the Federal Trade Commissions Act by promoting products that consumers were either pre-approved or had 90% odds of approval for, but ultimately were unqualified. Credit Karma says Credit Karma false claims of pre-approval cost consumers time and subject them to unnecessary credit checks. All right, and let's go on. In response, Credit Karma said in a statement that the company disagrees with the government, but reached an agreement on the issue so it can get back to helping consumers. So basically what Credit Karma says, hey, and this is what happens to a lot of times when creditors want to settle. We disagree. I disagree with you, but we'll settle anyway because we don't want this to drag on, right? So we'll put into the language that we disagree. We don't believe we did anything wrong, but we'll pay out $3 million. And that's how settlements actually happen. Whenever you do a settlement with particularly these big major companies, they always put in there that we disagree with what you're saying, but we don't want to drag it on. We'll pay you. As long as it's stated in the settlement that we don't believe we did anything wrong, somewhere about that, somewhere in that language. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So that's what Credit Karma said. What did I leave off at? The FTC the government allegations are focused on Credit Karma historical use of the term pre-approved for a small subset of the credit card and personal loan offers available on Credit Karma's platform prior to April 2021, and do not challenge the approval odds language Credit Karma has provided to its members since April of 2021, the statements. In other words, right now, Credit Karma, since April of 2021, you should not be seeing that whenever you log onto your Credit Karma account. You should not be seeing this 90% approval odds. You should not be seeing pre-approved because in the settlement, they said they was going to change that. They was going to stop doing that. Now, you just have to check your Credit Karma to see. All right. But that was part of the settlement. A Credit Karma spokesperson told NPR that the company was unable to independently verify the government's numbers. What we know today is only less than 1,500 people have ever contacted us stemming from anything related to this, the spokesman said. Well, just because people didn't reach out to you, right, to say, hey, you told us we was pre-approved and we didn't get it. Just because a lot of people didn't say that doesn't mean that you were doing something right. So don't say it's only 1,500 people that complain. There's thousands of others just didn't want to complain. They say, you know what, you got me. I shouldn't apply for it, and they walk away. So don't use that. According to the complaint, Credit Karma was aware that their practices were misleading. They were aware. For instance, training materials for customer service representatives list confusion about pre-approval as a common issue brought by the consumer. In other words, consumers were telling them, like, why do you guys say we're pre-approved? And then when we apply, that's very confusing. So they was aware. Now, it says users have to submit personal information to use Credit Karma services. which gives the company access to over 2,500 data points, including credit and income information on the consumer. The company uses the information to target marketing efforts for the individual, including credit cards and loan recommendations described as pre-approved. CreditKarma will have to pay, I'm skipping down to the end, CreditKarma will have to pay the government $3 million, which will be sent to consumers who are harmed by the predatory practices. That's where you guys come in. The company will also have to stop deceiving consumers about credit offer approvals, which will be documented by an order requiring CreditKarma to preserve records of its marketing efforts according to the new releases. So between February 2018 to April 2021, if you applied for any, and you probably don't, I'm pretty sure, let me stop sharing for a second. And I'm pretty sure that most people will be like, did I ever do that between that time? Because we don't really think in terms like that. But just so you know, if you did apply for anything that CreditKarma said you were pre-approved for or had a 90% chance of getting between 2018 and 2021, you're going to be getting some money back. I don't know how much money. It may be $5, maybe $100. It depends on how many people were deceived, right? But when CreditKarma pays that money to the government going to get their records, CreditKarma's records of all the people that actually applied during that time, and they're going to divvy out that money. So basically what we're saying as we get ready to close, CreditKarma, again, another company that's had their hands caught in the cookie jar. So all of you guys who are using CreditKarma, use it just for the monitoring system. Use it just to check on what your credit report is, what's being reported on your credit report. Use it to dispute things on your credit report. But do not use CreditKarma as far as them trying to offer you anything, saying you're pre-approved or you have a night. Stay away from that. Clicking on any links that they give you. Just stay away from clicking on any links that they offer you, because that's basically how they get paid, and there's no guaranteeing you're going to get what they say you're pre-approved for. All right? I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. Once again, you've been listening to the Credit Repair Show with the Credit Doctor, Angelo McCutcheon. Remember our credit repair coaching program. Go to my website at getfreshstart.net. Getfreshstart.net. So even if you're watching this as a replay and get more information on what our coaching program entails and how much it costs. And remember, it's an investment in you so that you don't have to keep paying people to fix your credit. We're going to give you enough information, dispute letters, connect you with attorneys, teach you how to read and understand your credit reports. We're going to break all that down to you so you'll forever have that information to keep your credit where it needs to be. And even if it falters, you'll know how to get it back on top. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Remember to stay blessed. Whatever you do, stay blessed. But what's even more important is that you are a blessing. And with that,